Royal Diamond is too loyal. I'm reacting to an animation, Meet My Story. I found out that I wasn't really taken from the orphanage. If she wasn't taken from the orphanage, then where was she taken from? Like, I've seen movies that were kind of similar to this title, and I'm just like, dude, like, I mean, I like watching this kind of stuff because I be wanting to know, like, where did the person come from? But before I get into this video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and like this video, guys.
Hi, my name's Mia, and I'm going to tell you my amazing story. And I would love it if you'd give me a like and subscribe to the channel. All my life I knew that my parents took me from an orphanage. They never let me forget for a minute that I was not their daughter. Every day, my dad reminded me that I should be grateful to them because they took me in. I agree with that. I'll be graduating from high school thanks to my parents.
I mean, but what was she doing that wasn't grateful? Because I'm like, for you guys to be treating her like crap just because she wasn't your daughter and telling her she should be grateful, it seemed like she was grateful enough to me. Like, well, I'm just saying, like, it seemed like she wasn't doing anything wrong for them to even say that. So they were just talking out the side of their neck.
And I can get into any university or college I like. But when you're so exhausted from the chores and you don't get any acknowledgement from your parents, it gets very frustrating. You could say that my stepmom and stepdad really saved me from the fate of an abandoned child. Of course, some
Or did they steal her? Because, you see them movies where, people really do uh see somebody's kid, and when the parent not looking, they snatch their kid up and they kid gone for years and haven't been found for years. All of a sudden, 18 years later, they done find the child, and the child, like, it's crazy, y'all.
foster children are not told by their new parents that they're from an orphanage. But personally, I found out this unpleasant fact right away. Who do you think told me this terrible secret of my birth? Of course, my stepfather, who I disliked very much. But this confession was only the beginning of my personal nightmare created by my father.
First of all, this dude was your stepfather, so I'm thinking, like, did your mom even know that the stepfather decided to, tell her this, or was he just being plain evil and just put it out there anyway?
After all, he thinks I have to earn my food, clothes, and living in his and my mom's house. And although I'm very angry at his rude behavior, I've gotten used to the constant nagging from my father, and I've almost put up with it. But one day, I learned a very strange thing. My day began as usual. In the morning, much earlier than my parents, I cooked them a delicious and nutritious breakfast. What a good girl I am.
Look what she doing for them, and they got the nerve to say, to say things like, "Oh, you need to be grateful," like she's not grateful for what she already has. Like, come on now.
Then I met my best friend and classmate Sophie, and we, joking and singing, drove to our favorite school. There was a surprise waiting for us in class, a new student. It was a very cute girl with big blue eyes, a real angel. We were glad that our team of girls got another beautiful girl, and we rushed to meet her. But suddenly, our way was blocked by our gloomy classmate Stephen. Are you going to be friends with her? He asked us rudely. She's from the orphanage. So what? I threw up my hands in surprise.
Wow. Who cares if she's from the orphanage? Nobody cares about that. Like, come on now.
My parents took me from an orphanage too, but you're friends with me. Not true. You live with your own mother, my classmate declared. You know that our mothers are best friends, so I know all your family secrets. Our mothers talk very loudly when they meet. I
Wow.
was shocked by this unbelievable news. I was about to ask Stephen more about it, but the teacher came in and told everyone to take their seats. It wasn't until after class that I finally caught my overly chatty classmate and tried to get more information. But unfortunately, Stephen knew almost nothing. He only said that my mother was my real mother. My mood was completely ruined. So I wondered how.
Wait, her mother was her real mother? I'm confused.
Sadly, it's all so sad. The first person I saw was my father. He greeted me with the standard frown on his face. Does he have to practice for
I'm
like
getting
that
tired
now?
of looking at his face
What took you
already.
so long? Classes are long over, he barked. It was about time you started cleaning the house. Look how dirty it is. And make dinner. Preferably a very tasty one. You have only friends and parties on your mind. No gratitude to
How
those
you
who
know she
support
just worried about
feed
friends
and
and parties? She
clothing.
ain't even been to
My
no
father's
parties.
words suddenly made me angry. I decided to tell him what I thought of their strange secrets. Why do you and Mom blatantly lie to me? You're my birth parents, and I'm your birth daughter. My classmate Steven told me I'm my mother's real daughter. Dad was very surprised at first, but then he smiled slyly.
Personally, I'm not lying to you. You're not my daughter. We took you out of the orphanage. If you have enough energy to argue, then you should have enough to cook. Otherwise, I'll be very unhappy with you.
What?
After saying that, my father left, slamming the door loudly.
I don't know which
At
which
first,
truth
out of
here to
habit,
believe.
I went into the kitchen. But then I decided it was time to show my parents that I was a human being. I was sick of being thought of as a maid. Sophie has been asking me to stay with her for a couple of days. I could pack my bags and go to her place for the night and let my parents think I ran away from home. How will I live? I've been working part-time as a courier for a long time now, so I've got a little cash to spare for emergencies. Of course, I wasn't planning on leaving home forever. After all, I still had to finish school and wait until I was of age. But right now, I just needed to shake up
She
my
leaving.
parents so they'd finally stop playing games with me and tell me the truth about me and our family. Why lie? I don't get it. Sophie was happy to see me. I immediately shared the latest news with my friend because she heard me talking to Steven too. Can you believe it? I told her. Daddy denies that I'm his real daughter. It's so hurtful. Sophie supported me and comforted me, but at the same time, she sternly told me that I should talk to my mother. Maybe she's your real mother and can tell you all about it. I didn't agree with my friend. Then, Sophie just suggested we forget.
So what I'm trying to figure out is I haven't seen her mother this whole time. So I'm thinking like, do she just stay with the stepdad? But then I think since he is the stepdad, I think it's stupid that she stays with him if she does stay with him, because like you're not my biological father or the father that adopted me or whatever. So it's like, where's her mom doing all this? Because I would have been talked to my mom about it.
And have a party instead. She and I ate a lot of burgers. We watched new movies, talked about popular guys, and went to bed in the morning. Now that's the real life of a high school student, when all I see is school and work and endless household chores. I just pushed these thoughts away and fell asleep sweetly. And in the morning, I went to work. Afterwards, agreed to meet Sophie at a coffee shop. Were my parents looking for me? Yes, my mom called, but I didn't pick up because I wasn't ready to talk to her. Of course, I had a lot on my mind, but my resentment for all the lies they told me over the years took over.
She don't know what to believe.
More, for I had suffered for 17 years, and now I was determined to break the chains my parents had put me in. I thought about my problems and made my way to the coffee shop, where I'd agreed to meet Sophie. But when I entered the place, I froze. My mother was waiting for me at the table. Sophie messaged me to apologize. You don't have to upset your mother. It's time for a heart-to-heart talk. I was furious with my friend. What a schemer. It's none of her business. But I sat down at the table with my
But she
mother
was looking
anyway.
at she
What
was looking
happened?
out for you at
She
the same
asked me.
time.
I pulled myself together and spilled everything that bothered me. You remember my classmate Steven? He's your friend's son. Steven told me you're my birth mother. But when I told Dad that you're my birth parents, he just laughed at me. He said he had absolutely nothing to do with me. And then he told me to make dinner. Mom, I get so tired at school. I just want to relax and be with my friends sometimes. And you make me do all the housework. And why did you lie to me about taking me out of the orphanage? I said everything I was holding back. And then I cried bitterly. I eagerly hugged my mother, who moved closer to me. Mia,
Why her mom
we
not
did
saying
take
that?
you out of the orphanage, but I had to send you there first. Yeah, you went there because of me. I really am your birth mother. Your own father abandoned us. I had nothing to feed you. We had no home, and I lost my job. so I gave you to an orphanage where kind people could take care of you. And I'm very
Aw.
ashamed of what I did. Then, a year later, I met your new daddy, and I talked him into taking the baby out of the orphanage. He can't have children of his own. Your stepfather resisted for a long time because he doesn't like babies, and he never wanted a baby. But I had to take.
See, and he did it because she wanted to have her kid back. But I'm like, dang, like if you love her, why don't you love what comes with her? Because obviously she didn't want to give her baby up, but she did what she had to do at the time. So it's like, dude, like if you love her, why don't you just see what can come of it, man?
You home, and I also wanted no one to know about what I'd done. So I never told you about it. I only told my friend once. And see how that turned out? I'm such a bad mother. Mom cried and hugged me tight, and I kept quiet because it hurt so much. It hurt to know what a hard life my mother had lived. We sat there for a while, and then we went home. In the morning, I got up and packed. I made arrangements with my friend Sophie to stay with her for a while. And I went to my mom's house to warn her about it. "Why are you leaving?" she asked sadly. I told her it was hard for me to live in this house because Daddy will continue to make fun of me like this. "I love you, Mom," I said. "I'm really not mad at you. I really am. I just want to be alone. Maybe in a week. Maybe I'll come home." Mom nodded and silently hugged me, and I headed for the exit of the house I had long considered my own. But my dad suddenly stopped me in my tracks.
Where are you going again? Answer me. Who's going to make me breakfast? Do you maybe think I should do it myself?
"I'm leaving," I answered. But Daddy grabbed my
Oh, heck nah. He ain't about to stop me and demand me, who's gonna make my breakfast. You make your own breakfast. You treat me like crap. Make your own breakfast. And now he grabbing her?
arm.
What kind of nonsense is this? You are not going anywhere.
He shouted.
What
I'd be
about
like,
all
I'm
the
not your
money we've
goddamn
invested in you?
servant.
Dad started listing the insane costs of caring for me again. But now, his words didn't hurt me at all. The truth was on my side. "You're not my real father, but I am my mother's daughter, and I don't owe you anything.
Right, throw
Everything
that
I
back
owe,
in his face.
I've
You
long
not my
since paid
dad, so
off."
I ain't gotta
What are
cook for
you
you. How
talking
about that?
My father said angrily. "Mom told me everything. I really am her daughter." I was so angry that I didn't think that I could hurt my mother by telling the truth to my father. I only realized it when my mother ran away crying. What did I do? I got scared and left the house.
No way. I'm thinking like, how is her mom sitting up there crying and upset? How's that hurting your mom? Like, dude, he has been mistreating her from the jump, treating her like crap, telling her that her mom isn't her real mom, all this and this and that. You know what I'm saying? You just saw how he talked to her, and that hurts you that she lashed out and gave her a piece of her mind. I mean, gave him a piece of her mind. Like, come on now. Like, he deserved that. I don't care. And then you let him grab her arm like that. Come on now, this comes a point in a moment where you just need to stand up for your kid. Like, don't let people control you or your kid or what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's just like she with this dude that's just evil and just have this rude attitude and treats her daughter like crap. Like, I would have been divorced him.
Because I felt guilty. I was sure Dad wouldn't do anything bad to Mom. He's not a villain after all. And we lived together for years. With these thoughts in mind, I was watching a movie with Sophie, but I still felt uncomfortable. So I left the room, and I dialed my mother's number. "Is everything okay, honey?" I heard my mother's voice. "Yes, Mom. Are you okay?" "I'm fine. Just don't come home anytime soon. Your dad and I are getting a divorce." So I packed up my stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I already found us a new apartment. "We're gonna live there with you." The news upset me deeply. "Mom, how did this happen? It's all my fault, isn't it?" "Don't say that," my mother interrupted.
I mean, I feel like she should have been divorced him years ago because he didn't want he don't like kids, and the way he acted and how he been treating your daughter all these years, and should have been divorced him anyways.
We'll talk later.
This just
I'll
gave
text
it an
you
extra
the address
kick.
of our new apartment. I got a text message a few minutes later with the address. I ran into my friend's room. I said goodbye to Sophie and went to my mom's. She was all alone when she left me at the orphanage, but now my mom is not alone. I'll always be there for her. That's what I said to Mommy when she opened the door to me. Mom, I love you, and I forgive you, I said. She hugged me and invited me into our new life. Do you think you can forgive your parents for their mistakes? Write your opinion in the comments. It would be interesting to read your posts.
Guys, thank you for watching. Stay tuned because you know I'm coming back with more. And I would definitely forgive my parents, because at the end of the day, they still birth you. They're still your family, all of that. So stay tuned, guys. Subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos. Hit that notification bell, and I'm out.